Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So if you can't tell, I'm super bummed. It's daylight and I'm driving back from a concert, so you already know it's off to a good start. So this concert was actually a pretty unique one, and I'm really excited that I got a chance to go. So this concert was at Downs Park, which is about an hour from my house. I'd never been to this park before, so I was a little bit nervous about parking. But I was also nervous about getting there in general because I kind of made a day out of this. So I actually ended up going all the way to Ocean City, went to a brewery in Salisbury and a brewery in Ocean City, and then came back. And so on my way to these breweries at like 9 o'clock in the morning, the Bay Bridge going towards home was a hot mess. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it to Downs Park by 4 o'clock. And surprisingly I did. So even though there was some traffic, I'm gonna say that it was actually really not that bad. I didn't think I was gonna make it, even though I left Ocean City at about 1:30 and I made it there by like 4:05, which the show didn't start till 4:30. So I was actually like really excited that actually worked out really well. And also the other thing about going to a park like that is sometimes it can be kind of confusing because some parks have different pavilions and they have different sections and different parking areas, but this one was very easy to find. I even was going to ask there's a little booth at the entrance that you're supposed to pay for parking or whatever because it's a state park, and the guy just said, are you here for the concert? And I said, yep. And I was going to ask him where it was, but he seemed to be confident that I would find it. So I found it. It was pretty easy. It was like the first parking lot that you got to, and it was fairly easy to find, even though there were no signs. But yeah, so I was a little bit nervous about that as well. And again, I got there with plenty of time, even though there was potential traffic and potential confusing parking. So overall, getting there was pretty awesome. So the band that played is like, oh, I'm so excited about them. I love them so much, and they're super local, so that's really cool as well. They're Sub Radio, and if you haven't heard them, please check them out. They are just so fantastic, just so fantastic. So yeah, so I'm really excited to share about this show. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. They were the only band that was playing, so I didn't know that going in. But so they ended up playing some covers and then their own stuff as well. So that was a pretty neat twist that I wasn't really expecting. I guess I just thought they would play a set of like an hour set of their own music. But yeah, it was kind of fun to see different covers of like all genres too. But you'll figure out which ones I like the most. All right. Anyway, so the first one they opened with Locked Out of Heaven. Don't love that song. So that was not really a great start for me personally, but I do understand why they would start with a song like that. Definitely a crowd pleaser, and the crowd was definitely a lot of like older people and like people with like little kids and stuff like that. So that wasn't super surprising, but not my cup of tea for sure. So then they played Tightrope by Walk the Moon, and I was like freaking out because I love that song, and of all the Walk the Moon songs they could have played, I am so glad they played that one. I love that song. That's my favorite Walk the Moon song, or one of my favorite Walk the Moon songs, so definitely really liked that cover, and his voice is like perfect for that song, and it just felt like just such a good fit, and it was a really good cover. So then they played Redbone by Childish Gambino. I don't know that song. It was good. Again, just I like hearing covers that I know, and I'm sure other people in the crowd appreciated it, but definitely not my favorite cover. So then he made a joke about, he was like, yeah, so my voice is out, so I'm just gonna leave that responsibility to someone else. So that was pretty funny. So I liked the banter on stage was pretty great overall, and I'll talk more about that when it comes up. But so finally, after three cover songs, they played a song of their own. So I was really, really excited. It's Dreamcatcher, which is not my favorite off the EP, and I knew they were gonna play it. And I was like, oh yeah, they're finally playing their own song. And then I was like, oh, it's Dreamcatcher. And the reason I don't love this song is I think it's the like drastic transition from the verses to the chorus. I like the verses, the chorus is okay, and it's just, I don't know. Anyway, definitely better live than on the CD, so that was at least good. And I guess this show just kind of was progressively getting better and better for me overall. So after that, like, this is where I definitely got like legit awesome. So they played 1901 by Phoenix, and just really love that song. So everyone but the drummer was doing synchronized dancing, which was awesome. Really liked that during the first verse. It was pretty cool. And I definitely loved the differences in the second verse. That was just so fantastic. So I really liked the little changes, but also like the synchronized dancing was really fun. And I know that Sub Radio is kind of, that's one of their things that they're, I don't want to say gimmick, it's not a gimmick. It's like one of their cool, interesting things that they do at a show is they do synchronized dancing and synchronized moves and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see it in a cover song that I like, and I was really excited about hearing. So then after that, they did Flashback, which if you've never seen Sub Radio live before, go see them just for this song. Flashback is so awesome. They do this like hand clapping, snapping, stomping thing, and it is incredible. And I've watched the video like 20 times. I have the list of order in which you are supposed to do all of the moves on my desk at work. I try it while I drive and listen to the song. I try it while I'm at work and listen to the song. I am terrible at it, but at least I like legit knew it and knew what to expect, so that was actually pretty cool. So I was excited about that for sure. So yeah, so that was pretty sweet. I liked that. And then sorry guys, trying to focus on driving for a second. I'm gonna go this way. And then so after that, it was pretty cute. He was like, so we're all on a mission to lose 5 pounds by the end of the show, because obviously it was a lot of movement, and so everyone laughed. But the best was after that, like you couldn't really hear it, but in the mic he was like, Barry just upped his goal to 8 pounds. Like that was just awesome, and I really liked the genuine like fun that is had during that like time of the set, right? Like just the banter and just the fact that they are like funny enough and like just enjoying themselves enough to kind of still have that banter. Really nice. So then they did Killer's cover, When You Were Young, and I'm glad they chose that Killer song. I'm glad it wasn't Mr. Brightside. Not that I don't love Mr. Brightside covers, we've already talked about that in previous videos, but I was just glad that it was a different cover that I don't tend to hear that often. Then they played one of their older songs, which I didn't know, but I really loved the chorus. It was really catchy, so I'll definitely have to check that one out. Then they played Neon Trees, Everybody Talk, so that was pretty good. And the bassist came in and sang the Too Much in the chorus, so I really liked that. Again, just like a little tiny touch, but it was a cool touch for sure. Then they played their own song, Caroline, which I'd heard before, but I didn't really know it as well as I know some of their other stuff. So, yeah, really catchy choruses, and I really liked the bridge. They have some really, really catchy music for sure. So hopefully when you listen to them, you'll be like, oh yeah, this band is great. Then they played September by Earth, Wind & Fire. Really just, again, crowd pleaser for sure. I love that song, so that was really good. And they made a joke about it being one of the last days that any band can legally play that song, so I thought that was pretty funny. Again, just like love the banter back and forth, so that was really good. Then they played Room for You, which was awesome to see live, especially because I had done it for a video, so that was really, really, really exciting. That was just awesome to see it like in real time, so that was great. I really liked that. And then they played Small Pools Dreaming, which like I had totally forgotten about that song, and when they started playing I was like, what song is this? No, I totally know this song. And then it's like you just get it and you're like, oh my god, this song is so good. So I was really, really, really excited about that. So great. And the lead singer was actually wearing a Small Pools shirt, so knowing that this was a covers thing and that they played Tightrope from Walk the Moon, I should have expected it. But then they played their own song, Head First, and I'm so glad they played that song because I really, really like that song, especially towards the end with the water part. I love that part, and seeing it live was just so fantastic, especially now that I know them, because that was, when I first saw them, I didn't know them. They were an opener, and that's what actually got me into this band. So the fact that I now knew that song and knew like what was coming and was just so excited and anticipatory of what was coming at the end of that song, so I really, really loved that part. Then they told the crowd they were going off stage but would be back, so they like met with fans a little bit, tried to sell some of their merch, and took like a 10-15 minute break, and then they came back on to play another set. So again, now knowing that it was going to be covers and their own music, I mean, definitely knew that there were a couple songs that they hadn't played, especially from their new EP, so I knew at least what to expect with their music wise, but wasn't sure how the other covers were going to go. But I was excited, especially because their last like 4 or 5 covers were fantastic. So when they came back on, they started with Taylor Swift, Style. Not a song that I enjoy listening to from Taylor Swift. It was fine. I just, again, it's like you come back out and I was like super pumped because they had such strong covers towards the end of that first set, and then it was like, oh, we're starting with Taylor Swift. Then they did Miles, which is their song. I didn't really recognize it till the chorus, but really liked it. It was a good song. Then they did a cover of Valerie by Amy Winehouse, and again, I don't really know that song. It was okay. It was fine. But they did a cool thing. So when the bridge, I'm assuming it was the bridge, they did like an introduction to all the band members. So they just like played the instruments, and then he said like, this is whoever on the drums, this is whoever on the guitar. So that was pretty cool. I like when bands do that. And guys, then they like just, so after that they played a Maroon 5 cover. Yikes. I don't love that band, but them playing that song was alright. It was definitely manageable and it wasn't terrible. It just is a Maroon 5 song, and if anyone knows me, I'm not a big fan. So yeah, that was the covers they decided to play that second set. For me personally, were not great ones, but they sounded great and they were good, and I liked Miles, so like that was fine, but definitely probably the low point for me for this one. But then they brought it right back. So they played Chocolate by the 1975. So that was definitely a song that I like randomly had forgotten about and was so excited to hear again. So that was really cool. I really liked that one. After that, again, they like just made it really a strong ending with these covers. So they played My Body by Young the Giant, and I love that song. It was great. And then they went right into Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down. So fantastic. Love those three covers right in a row. Really great choices, especially considering they had a Maroon 5 song in there. So definitely glad that they ended with those three instead of the opposite way around. That would have just been, ooh. So then they played 4 more songs, and they were all their own songs. So I was really glad that they kind of ended with like a mini set of their own. Again, I like their music, so that was awesome. And especially after 3 really great covers, it was just fantastic to see great music and then their music, which was great. So they played Instincts, and the one thing about this song is, so at the beginning of the song, they talk about like wiping sweat off your brow or whatever. And I was like, come on, like synchronized choreography for this part. And there wasn't. The lead singer definitely like did flick it off, which is the lyric. Sorry, I know that's like a weird thing to say. But again, just like a little bit would have loved to see the whole band kind of get into that lyric. But really great song, really enjoyed hearing that song. Then they played Emotional, which I love the bridge. So everyone was like singing. Everyone who had a mic was singing. And I really loved that. I thought the bridge was fantastic and it really worked well. So the lead singer was singing something different while the rest of the band was singing like in the background. So that was really cool to see live. And then they played What Are We? And so I really liked it. The guitar, bassist, and keyboardist did this definite like dance move during one of the verses, so that was pretty sweet. Again, it's like just so great. I love the dancing, I love the choreography, the synchronized stuff is just fantastic, and it's really fun, and it makes it really fun to see the band. And then they ended with, I'm assuming, what's their biggest single right now, I guess, Better Than That. So that was awesome. I was really excited to see that. That's one of my favorite songs off their new EP, so that was just a fantastic choice to end with, and it was great. I mean, honestly, they could have played Flashback for 2 hours and I would have just been in heaven. But I'm glad they didn't, because I did want to see their other newer stuff from their new EP. So yeah, so oh gosh, scoring wise, this was definitely an interesting one, definitely an awesome setting, and like they lucked out, they had a great night. It wasn't rainy, it was a fantastic evening, so that was really nice that worked out well. I mean, their song choices were really on point, especially like Small Pools and the 1975. That was really fun to see. Young the Giant. I mean, Young the Giant was pretty big, and I think a lot of people would know Young the Giant, but you never really know. So I don't know. It's just like, I really thought their choices were good, except for Maroon 5. Taylor Swift. So I think the lows would definitely be some of their cover choices, but I get it, right? The crowd was like a varied crowd of varying ages, so you do kind of have to play to the crowd, so I understand that, and I get that while I enjoy alternative rock, not everyone really loves alternative rock as much as I do. But yeah, I mean, I feel like overall the cover choices kind of, like the good ones, like way overbalance the not so great ones, because they were just so like obscure. Like I mean, to play Phoenix, not everyone knows Phoenix, so that I just really liked their choices. I thought they did a really nice job with that. And then of course their own stuff was fantastic. I love Flashback. I love seeing that choreographer hand clapping and stomping, and it's just so fun, and it makes the show super fun. And so I think I'm gonna give this one a 9.0. Definitely a cool venue. Wish I would have been told to bring a chair or more people were standing up or something. It was lame because everyone was sitting on the grass and everyone had chairs, and I don't know. I would have just liked to be able to move around a little bit more. Their songs were so great. It was so fun to see them, especially, like I said before, the choreography stuff was fantastic, and their cover choices were really good, with the exception of Maroon 5. Gosh. God, I've said Maroon 5 so many times in this video, way more than I would have ever want to in any video. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so 9.0. I think it was a really great concert, really unique venue, really small crowd. So definitely when they finally blow up, I'll be like, guys, remember I saw them at a park? It was awesome. So yeah, let me know what you think, especially if you've seen this band. Please let me know. I love them so much, and I can't wait to see what happens with them in the future. They're coming to DC in October, so definitely check them out. And yeah, let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.